One of the things that I really like about Milwaukee is there's so many different neighborhoods and they all look and feel completely different. So today I would like to take you on a quick tour through my neck of the woods, which is Mequon and Thiensville. We are just outside of Milwaukee city limits to the north here, and I would like to show you why people want to live here in Mequon, what is the difference between East Mequon and West Mequon, where is the new construction happening, and where are the old established neighborhoods, and everything else that you want to know about living in Mequon. And we're going to get started right now. Let's get started with a quick look on the map here. So we have here Milwaukee with the downtown area located right on Lake Michigan and surrounded by 19 other municipalities which make up the Milwaukee metro area, and a grand total population of about 1.6 million people living here. And right outside of Milwaukee County to the north we have Mequon and Thiensville, a very large piece of land but not very densely populated, only 24,000 people living here, and there's a lot of land here, a very affluent community but still a lot of green space. And I can show you that when I switch over to the satellite view. So there's still a lot of green space. You have here the Milwaukee River coming straight through, and there are a lot of parks and public spaces that are alongside the Milwaukee River. Thiensville is located here as well. That was started in the 1830s by a German guy who built a sawmill here on the Milwaukee River. And then later on, when the freeway was built, I-43, Southeast Mequon became very, very popular because it provides very quick and easy access into the downtown area. So once you made it on the freeway here, it's maybe 10-15 minutes to get you downtown. So this is the reason why the area around the freeway here, around Southeast Mequon, is very, very popular, because of the ease of transportation here if you want to get downtown. Here's a little bit of a commercial and economic center, so there's a lot of shopping located here on the access ramp of I-43. And so this is the first area that I want to show you today, Southeast Mequon. Very popular, very affluent, very nice homes in this area. The second part that we're going to look at here is more central Mequon and Thiensville. There's also new construction happening here in that area. And then we have, of course, west and northwest Mequon here, which is more rural, and there's still a lot of farming going on. And then right outside of Mequon you have here Cedarburg, which is a super quaint little city here, kind of a tourist destination where people go up, and a really great place to spend the summer day. But let's get started here with Southeast Mequon, and we'll take a look at that first. If you want to live in style and not too far from the city, but with a little bit of extra elbow room, meaning a nice big backyard, then East Mequon is probably high on your list. It is conveniently located just outside of Milwaukee and on the shores of Lake Michigan, and probably one of the nicest and most prestigious neighborhoods that we have here in the Milwaukee area. But of course, that also comes with a price tag. Mequon is generally very spread out and does not really have an old village with a quaint main street with retail stores and coffee shops. But East Mequon has become the economic hub of the area. So you find there a lot of different businesses, anything from banking to hospitals, and of course a lot of retail. There are a number of bigger grocery stores you can choose from, a lot of major retail stores or smaller independent retailers, restaurants, bars, pretty much everything that you could need quickly without going to downtown. Lake Michigan is absolutely stunning, and of course lakefront property is very desirable and not easy to come by, especially in East Mequon. If a property comes on the market once in a while, it's usually in a 7-figure price range. The general public has access to a number of parks that are right on Lake Michigan, like Vermont Park or the Lion's Den Gorge further north. And so if you want to grab a sandwich and stare out on the horizon, this is a perfect place to do. Just know that it's not everywhere easy to get down to the water because there is a relatively steep bluff. Besides the parks, Mequon does not really provide very good lake access. I think that that's a bit of a missed opportunity. I would love to be able to get down to the lake, to the water, have a cup of coffee there or a bite to eat. Or if you're into boating, it would be nice if Mequon would have a marina. Unfortunately, the two closest marinas are either downtown in Milwaukee, or you can also go up north into Port Washington. They have a very nice marina up there. Home sizes in East Mequon tend to be a little bit on the bigger side. Typically, we're seeing about 5,000 to 7,000 square feet, and they come often in 4 or 5 bedroom configurations. A lot of these neighborhoods have been established in the late 1980s, 1990s. So that means on the one hand, very well grown in landscaping with mature trees. On the other hand, that also means that some of these properties are reaching an age where they could really use some updating. And depending on condition, we see prices range anywhere from about $650,000 to about $900,000, $950,000, with larger properties that have been recently updating going into the $1 to $2 million range, and some exceptional properties going even beyond that. When you're driving through some of the more exclusive neighborhoods, you notice not only elaborate landscaping, but also that the exterior of the houses is usually stone or brick, and the roofing material is usually cedar shake as opposed to the regular asphalt shingle roofs that we typically see here. But of course, not all of Mequon is that exclusive and that expensive. If you go a little bit further west and you cross the freeway, you get into neighborhoods that have been established in the 1960s, and homes there are usually a lot more moderately priced. Of course, lot sizes are smaller, homes are more moderately in size as well, about 2,000 to 2,500 square feet, and we see prices ranging anywhere from $350,000 to $450,000, maybe $500,000. And with that, we're moving on further inland to take a look at Thiensville and central Mequon. So not a whole lot was going on here in the 1980s and 1990s. All the focus was on southeast Mequon. But in the last decade, a lot of redevelopment, a lot of new construction, both residential and commercial, has been happening here in the central Mequon area. So there are some neighborhoods in here that are from the 1960s, but there's also some new developments that are very, very nice. There's some new subdivisions coming up here, and we have seen a lot of commercial redevelopment, new restaurants, new places to shop. So there's a lot going on here in the central area. Let's go for a drive and see what that looks like. Thiensville is a quaint little village in central Mequon. If you will, it is the hole in the donut of Mequon, and it has nothing lost from its original charm. There is still the original firehouse, which has been beautifully restored. There are multiple small shops and stores and coffee places. There's even a Harley-Davidson dealership there. So Thiensville is definitely worth a visit. If you're living in Thiensville and you are commuting to downtown Milwaukee, it adds about 8 minutes to your commute. So it takes about 8 minutes to get from Thiensville over to East Mequon and hop on the freeway, and then you can be downtown in about 15 minutes roughly. So over the last 10 years, Thiensville has seen quite a number of commercial projects come up, and in my opinion, the project that really got that stone rolling was the redevelopment of the Thiensville Town Center. It is a big commercial mixed-use project with a number of bars and restaurants and apartments on top. Most noticeably on the corner, you have Cafe Hollander, which is a fantastic place if you want to meet with a few friends for a Belgian beer, or just a casual dinner. Very popular place and always a great choice. There's also a number of other restaurants there. Then a little further down the road, you have a newer development, which is the Spur 16. There's also a number of restaurants there. You have the Mequon Public Market, which is basically a spin-off of the Milwaukee Public Market, which is downtown, and that is really anchoring the whole Thiensville area. It is providing a point to meet and to run into neighbors, and it's really cool now to be out there on Friday night and run into a few people that you know from your neighborhood. By the way, one of the main reasons why people are considering to move to Mequon and Thiensville, even locally from the area, is because of the school district. The Mequon Thiensville School District is widely regarded as one of the best public school districts in the state. And if schools are a consideration for you in your move, I would definitely encourage you to check out the school district ratings. You can go on websites, for example, greatschools.org or niche.com has also good reviews on school districts. The other perk that you get when you're living in the Mequon Thiensville area is that you're right on the interurban bike trail. So this is a 30-mile paved bike trail that follows an old railroad track that got abandoned in 1948. And today it is perfect for us, for example, if on a Sunday we want to bike for a beer and a burger, go either down to Thiensville or up to Cedarburg. We just take our bikes, hop on the interurban bike trail, work out a little bit, and then enjoy a beer. As far as housing options are concerned, Thiensville offers a wide variety of different options. As I've mentioned previously, there is a number of subdivisions that have been developed in the 1960s, and there are a lot of cool mid-century ranches that are available, some of them in still original condition and ready for remodeling, and others already professionally flipped and really updated and absolutely stunning. So price-wise, you're looking anywhere from $350,000 to about $450,000, $500,000, depending on size and condition. If new construction is more your thing, you have a number of options there as well. There are several subdivisions that have been built and developed in the last 10 years, so you can find newer homes there. Usually they are on nice size lots. Many of them are two-story buildings with an exposed basement, oftentimes around 3,000 to 3,500 square feet, usually with 4 bedrooms, and price-wise about $550,000 to about $750,000. And if you want to move into a brand new home where nobody ever has lived before you, there are a number of subdivisions that are currently being developed. The biggest one being the enclave at Mequon Preserve, and they're even working on an expansion which is called Preserve South. So there's still a number of home sites available for sale. If you want to build from scratch, you can just buy one of these home sites and then plan your own house and build it. Or if you want to fast track that, you can also buy a spec home, which is a home that has already been built by a builder. And obviously you can't choose the layout and the finishes because it's already there, but it has the one big advantage that you can just buy it and move right in, and you don't have to go through the process of building, which can oftentimes take a year or even a little bit longer with the current supply chain shortages that we're seeing. And finally, we're getting to part 3, which is western and northwestern Mequon. So this is a lot more rural. I'll flip the map here so you can see. So western and northwestern Mequon, there's a lot of land that is still undeveloped. So if you don't want to live in a subdivision, but you still want to be in the Mequon School District, maybe you're looking for a hobby farm or just a nice personal residence with acreage, then northwestern Mequon offers a lot of opportunities. So the west and northwest side of Mequon are still quite rural. There are a lot of operating farms. You see a lot of cornfields, soybean fields. You have dairy farms in between. You even have apple orchards. So in fall, if you want to take your family apple picking, you find several places where you can go and pick your own apples. There's also some really fantastic home sites here, larger parcels up to 50 acres. If you want to own a home with your own land, then this is definitely an area where you can find that. You don't have to live in a subdivision here, but you also will be on your own private well and on your own private sewer system. So this is very common in many parts of Mequon because only parts of the area are serviced by city water and city sewer. So it is very common that houses on larger lots, an acre and up, usually have their own private well and their own private septic system, which, if you're not familiar with, works perfectly fine, and there is no major disadvantages to that. If anything, you have the advantage that you don't get a monthly water bill. So in summary, why are people moving to Mequon and Thiensville? I would say The school districts are certainly a big argument for a lot of parents, but we also have a lot of people that don't have kids in school age, and they are usually telling me they are moving here to Mequon because they want to be close to the city, but they also want to have more green space around them. So they like the nature, they like to be outside of the city, just not that far away. They want to be able to quickly hop in the car and get downtown, but they want to be also outside in the city and want to have more nature and a bigger backyard and just enjoy that type of a lifestyle. One of the big negatives that I would say that you have living in Mequon and Thiensville is if you are commuting on a regular basis to an airport. That's a little bit longer commute, so it takes you about 45 minutes to get down to Mitchell Airport, which is the Milwaukee airport. You have to cross the entire city of Milwaukee, and also it adds about half an hour to your commute to Chicago O'Hare. So if you're flying internationally like I used to, then that adds quite a bit to your commute time getting down to the airport. So in that case, it's better to consider a neighborhood that is more centrally located, maybe something like Brookfield or Wauwatosa, where you're right on the freeway and you're very close to the airports. If you're looking for more information about moving to the Milwaukee area, definitely check out our relocation guide. It's about 40 pages of very dense information about all the different Milwaukee neighborhoods, where to live, where to work, where to go to school, what to do for fun, where to go out, everything else you need to know about living in Milwaukee, and you can download it for free from our website onpointrg.com. And if you like this video, there's a whole lot more on my YouTube channel. I'm posting new videos every week about the different neighborhoods in Milwaukee and everything else that is about real estate in the Milwaukee area. So if that's interesting to you, I would love it if you subscribe. And of course, if you have any questions or any comments about the Milwaukee area, please put them in the description box below. I love hearing from you guys, your comments and your questions, and I'm always trying to answer them in person and within 24 hours. That's all I got for you today. I'll see you next week.